Hello and welcome to another video from SOS Maths. This will be covering simultaneous equations. Now at GCSE there are two types of simultaneous equations. One are linear, where the power of the letters involved are 2, 1, which is an example here. And then the one that we'll look at afterwards, where one is linear and the other is not. So here, in order to solve this, we have two equations at once, so simultaneously two equations. The idea is to eliminate one of the variables or one of the letters. Okay, in order to do this, you have to have the same number of the same number, i.e. the same coefficient of the same letter. So here we have 2x and 7x, so obviously those two are different, and 3y and minus 2y, obviously those two are different as well. So the idea is to balance the number in front. So here we're going to balance the y's. It doesn't matter if you balance the x's or the y's. It's just I've chosen the y's because the numbers will be smaller when I multiply. So you need to find the lowest common multiple of the coefficient beforehand. So here we have 3 and 2, which is going to be 6. So I'm going to multiply the top line by 2. So I end up with 4x plus 6y equals 12, and then I'm going to multiply the bottom line by 3. So I end up with 21x minus 6y equals 3. Okay, what was the purpose of this? Now I've got 6y and 6y in both lines. The next we'll deal with the signs. So in order to eliminate, we use this acronym DAS. So if the signs are different, we add two equations together. If they're the same, we subtract. Okay, here we have one that's positive and one that's negative, so they are different. So I'm gonna add the two equations. So I'm gonna do 4x plus 21x, which gives me 25x. I'm gonna do 6y plus minus 6y, so these two are gonna cancel out, it makes 0. I'm gonna do 12 plus 3, which is 15. So I end up with 25x is equal to 15. To solve this, I divide both sides by 25, and I end up with this fraction here, which can be simplified to make life a bit easier. So you get 3/5 or 0.6. We'll use 0.6 here because it'll help in the calculation, make it a little bit easier. So then once you've got a value of one letter, you substitute it back in to find the value of the other. So we'll use the top equation because the coefficients are a little bit smaller. Remember, when substituting back in, you don't have to use these ones because they've been multiplied, so it'll be a bit harder because you're multiplying by a larger number, so you use the original ones. So we'll multiply into the first one, so we get 2 times 0.6 plus 3y equals 6. 2 times 0.6 is 1.2. To get rid of the 1.2, we subtract 1.2 from both sides. So we end up with 3y equals 4.8, and then we divide by 3. And we're left with y as a value of 1.6. These are our two answers, so 0.6 and 1.6. Technically, the question is finished, but it's good practice for students to then check their answer. How do they check their answer? They take their two values and substitute it into the other equation that I haven't used. So we haven't used the second equation, so we're going to do 7 times 0.6 minus 2 times 1.6 and see what answer we get. If the answer from this is the same as this answer here, then we have done our calculation correctly. So you get 4.2 minus 3.2, which gives us an answer of 1. So we've done our work correctly. Okay, so this was an example of the linear simultaneous equations. This is the second type of simultaneous equation. So here, one of these equations is non-linear, so the first one is not linear. So what we do is we rearrange the second one, which is linear, and substitute it into the first one. So I take y minus 3x equals 13, and I want to isolate in terms of either y or x. The easier way to do it here is to do it in terms of y, because I've already got one y on its own. So I take x across, so I get y equals 3x plus 13. Now this is going to replace y in the first equation here. So I'm left with x squared plus 3x plus 13 in brackets all squared is equal to 25. So what does that mean? I've got 3x plus 13 multiplied by 3x plus 13. So if I expand out the brackets, I get 9x squared plus 39x plus another 39x plus 169 is all equal to 25. This I rearrange, so if I put all the x squareds together, I get 10x squared plus 78x, and then I'm going to minus 25 from both sides, so I've got plus 144 is equal to 0. The reason why we make it equal to 0 is at this stage we can now, as it's a non-calculator paper, we're going to factorize it to solve it. So if I look at all the coefficients, they're all even, so I'm going to half it to reduce the size of the numbers to make the work a little bit easier. So I get 5 x squared plus 39x plus 72 is equal to 0, and then we're going to factorize it. So I take the first coefficient, which is 5, times it by the constant at the end, and I get 360. So I need two numbers that multiply to give 360 and add up to give 39. So if we start working our way through this, so it'll be 1 times 360, 2 times 180, 3 times 120, 4 times 90, 5 times 72, 6 times 60, 7 doesn't go into it, 8 goes into it, times 45, 9 times 40, 10 times 36, 12 times 30, and 13, 13 times 20, 14 doesn't go into it, 15 goes into it, so 15 into 36 is twice remainder 6, so it'd go into it 24 times, and this is the number that we are after because we need it to add up to give 39. So I'm going to factorize this. So there's two ways of doing this. So the easier way, I'll show you the easier way of doing this, where you take the first 5x squared, you just write 5x, and you take one of these terms, so you get 5x plus 15, and you do the same, 5x plus 24, put that equal to 0, and then you see if you can factorize any of these. So you can factorize the first one by taking out 5, so you get 5 bracket x plus 3, and you have a look, can you factorize the second one? No, you can't, so that remains the same. And the number outside this is eliminated, so you have two solutions. So you're going to write x plus 3 equals 0, so x is minus 3, or 5x plus 24 equals 0, so x is equal to minus 24 divided by 5. Okay, there's our two solutions. Okay, if one wanted to make this a little bit easier, we can calculate this as minus 4.8. Okay, so we now need to work out the values of y. So to do this, we're going to use this rearranged equation here. So y equals 3x plus 13. So y equals 3x, x is worth minus 3 here, plus 13. So you get minus 9 plus 13, which is 4. So our first answer is when x equals minus 3, y equals 4. And our second answer that we're going to do is we're going to do y equals 3 times minus 4.8, and then we're going to add on 13. So this is 14.4 minus 14.4, and then we add on 13, so our answer is minus 1.4. So our two answers will be, in the second case it will be x is equal to minus 4.8, at the same time y is equal to minus 1.4. Those are our two answers. I hope this helps.